What's up, y'all? Son of Azim, and today I decided to do a how-to video, one of my longer form videos. Today's video, if you read from the title, we are doing a Mossberg shotgun. Virtually every single Mossberg pump-action style shotgun is the exact same. 20 gauge, 12, even 410. I think 410's got something extra to do with the trigger guard, but that should be it. This is the exact model for it is a model 835 Ultimag. It's just a 12 gauge Mossberg, just like the pistol grip shotgun that I own. It's starts a little wiggle. It's a little old. It's got some light rust pitting and stuff, and I'll show you some things I do to bring these guns back to their really good condition, to almost store new. So let me show you how to do all that. Hello everybody. So now we are going to do visual inspection, make sure that the firearm is unchambered and unsafe. Most Mossbergs, unless it's a Maverick 88, make sure that that's fire, that's safe. Unless it's a Maverick 88, you'll have a crossboot safety right here, in which case you would press and see the rings. So you open the action up, there will be an action bar button right here. Inspect it. Nothing in the chamber. I can visually see and feel, and I see nothing in the magazine. I can see the magazine plunger right there, and I can see that there's nothing in the bridge. Yet again, this just confirms that there's nothing in here. To disassemble a Mossberg, excuse me. First, you start off with unscrewing your top. Now, I've done nothing to this gun. It's just sit in my room for the past few days, and I've greased it, touched it, nothing. With Mossbergs, you just unscrew this top right here. This one's going to be a bit of a dick. Alright. Someone tightened the fucking piss out of that, so we're going to try to take this nut off right here. So give me 1 second. Alright, I got it loose now. A good pair of vice grips and a towel work perfect. It doesn't mar the finish whatsoever. It gets the job done. Now, ideally you'd prefer to use rubber or even leather, but this leather is quite nasty. I don't want to scratch it up, and this I just used to clean up linseed oil, which is another thing I'll show you to do. Unscrew your top right here. Is this getting on camera? And not too well. Alright. Unscrew our top here. Nothing should fly out unless someone took the top cup off. I just call it the top cup. Nope, it's still there. You have to break that open if you want the spring and stuff to come out, which we aren't. There's no need to. Now, you press your action button in, and go backwards with it. And your barrel mount should just come right off. There we go. Just like that, your barrel has now come off. Put this to the side for right now. Now with your action forward, it's been a hot second since I've done a Mossberg, but it should be quite easy. Do excuse me if I'm a little rusty. It's been a hot minute since I took my Mossberg apart. What you should do now is get yourself a small pin and knock this pin out. This pin right here holds the trigger group in. Some people think this is a pin. This is not. This is what holds your elevator into place. You can see it when I move, it should turn ever so slightly. But yeah, just get yourself a small pin. Where's one at? There's one. Small pin, push out the bottom right here. Alright, try from the side. You might have to have a small hammer too, but rubber hammer, just like so. It's out on this side, so I can just pull it out, just like so. Unlike Remington 870s, they'll have 2 pins, a big pin and a small pin. But with this, you just got the one that you gotta deal with. should just be able to just pop out. For some reason she doesn't just want to pop out. Put it on fire. There we go. That's been there for a hot second if it didn't want to come out. And the hammer dropped off as well. And one of our shell holder handle came out as well, which is fine. And there was the other one. You might be thinking, oh no, I don't know which way they go. It's fine. If you look into the slots here, the right side, if you can look in this area, I'll probably highlight with a red circle, if I can show it on camera very well, is where your long one goes to. And comparatively to the shorter side, you'll see a dimple in this area right here. That's where this one goes to. Now with that out of the way, your bolt should be free. Right here, if you're looking good, you can just move your bolt slide. Now your ejector bar should be able to come out the front. So yeah, see how loose that is? All you gotta do is just tighten this up right here, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Your bolt should be the last thing to come out. Or first. Nope, first thing, my bad. Just pop your bolt out the front. Why is that up here? Should be back over there. And then with your ejector, all you gotta do is just pull it out and pinch it inwards. Spring metal. Just in a pinch, if you need tweezers, you can use that. Though you can already see the gunk on my hands. And then, if you want to, which I probably will, you just unscrew this, and your ejector comes out of place. It's a hard ejector, is what I call it. Flathead, 2 flathead. Need a better sized one. 5/8 is a little big. 3/16 would work just fine. One thing is, if it don't want to go, you don't force it. There we go. You want to try to use the right size flathead. Here's our screw. Oh, and the stock's wiggly on it too. No, it's the barrel. Not the barrel, the tube. Alrighty then. Pop the ejector out. It should just pop out by itself. Just like that. Pop it up from the spot tab. Now with your stuff, you want to try to keep your screws with whatever it came with. I usually just put the screw in place with it and set it to a spot. That's it. Well, I guess since I'm here, I'll go ahead and fix the tube issue as well. Just unscrew it. I'll clean the threads and everything off. Oh, would you look at that? The woman that gave this to me does not use it as a hunting shotgun, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that for her as well. There's our end cap. And, would you looky there? A wood dowel for hunting. This gun was probably used for duck hunting, because when it's all the way up to the top, you only got about room for about 2 shells max. 2 plus 1 in the chamber for duck hunting. Huh. This one's got green painted on the end of the mag spring. That's definitely weird. Another thing is, you want to keep track of which side's which, because it's got screws on both ends. The best way to see it is if you do, you have your end plug. Got wear lines. The least amount of wear on the blued steel is going to be the end. The most is going to be towards the gun. Yeah, if you can see it, and if it pulls up good on camera, you can see the surface rust on this. I'll show you how to take care of that in a second. Just take this, I'm going to put all this inside. Stock is nice and put in place, so I ain't going to mess with that. But, ew. Now, what you're going to do with cleaning usually is, I don't ever really use steel brushes unless it's really bad and it's just the internals, but before I start cleaning anything, I get all the debris out. Which usually with shotguns, or just guns in general, they usually don't have any debris, but this one's been stored for a hot second. So what I do is I just take a brush and clean off the initial grease and stuff out, especially in these threads. That's probably why it's so daggone loose. I'm just going to clean all this out, and I'll be right back. I have gone ahead and decided to also take the buttstock off, due to it really just needs a good cleaning on the wood. That, and there's gunk in the back end of the threads, and it's going to bother me if I don't get that. So, yet again, now with buttstocks, it ranges from Phillips, the flatheads, and hell, I've seen some that use torque screws as buttstock screws. This one, however, I can luckily see into and see it's flatheads. These, you kinda, I'm not gonna lie, with buttstock screws, you kinda gotta feel around for them. They're wood screws. They have to be wood screws, usually. If they ain't wood screws, that's weird. 'Cause I ain't seen a buttstock that ain't wood screws, unless Bubba got to it and Bubba decided to make it a bolt and nut, which is crazy. Luckily, the holes on this one are actually opened up for you to actually access and work on. I was wrong. These are indeed Phillips. Let's try a peep one. Yep, that's Phillips. So, flatheads can work for just about anything, depending on what size you have. The thing with flatheads, though, is they strip very easily. I mean, Phillips strip out very easily, and I don't like Phillips very much. Absolutely abhor the idea of Phillips being used on anything. Yeah, sure, it's easy to put in place, but if you over tighten it, strip, and eventually you strip the head out so bad that you have to drill and tap it, or use some other way to get the head out, unlike normal. Alright, well, there's that. Another thing with people that run into stocks with butt screws is the screw down in the buttstock itself. Don't know how it's going to pull up on camera, but this at the end is a hex, and I do have a ½ inch that I can use. This will most certainly reach into that, but I don't need to use my ½ inch because I have a flathead that I can reach into it. Either will work for this gun. Some are just hexes only, some are flatheads, and sometimes they are Phillips. I usually see those on very cheap Turkish guns with Phillips, but for the most part it's either going to be hexes or flatheads. Especially with older guns, it's just going to be flatheads. That's just this gun. This gun, I'm going to guess, I haven't done no research on the dates for it, even though Mossberg did. I think Mossberg does dates like it used, like Remington. Remington's very weird on its dating system because it uses letters instead of normals like a normal company. It uses letters in the word black powder X. I don't know why. That's what they use to distinguish months. With this, it's going to take trial and error of getting the Phillips in there correctly. Nope, that went above. Dadgum. We broke her open. Last thing you want to do with these, unless it is exceptionally rusty, is put any WD-40 in there, because it will swell up the wood and stain it with the WD-40 oil. And that's not good, especially for wood. Alright, there we go. There we go, see? I'm just using my feet to hold that in place. There we go. I'm going to put the buttstock aside for now. And this legally is a firearm, because it has the serial number and stamp on it. This is the firearm. It minus the top notch here. These are for mounting sights. Some people thought they were oil applicators for a while, which they're not. They're meant for normal mounting screws for scopes. If you're running like slug guns, like slug barrels, this is what you would use it for. Or turkey shot, you put a turkey weird like peephole sight on it. You know what? I'm also going to take this down and repaint the inside to let you know that that is indeed fire. So yet again, 3/16 screwdriver to unscrew this. Oh, well, that's cool. I guess I ain't taking it down because this is not a normal screw head. It'll let you tighten it, but not untighten it. And I don't want to mess with that and risk ruining this gun. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that. Normally you'd want to use gun oil, but I'm going to use alcohol to get the gunk out because it's gunk, not normal powder residue, which you should use for cleaner and oil. It's just gunk. I found rubbing alcohol would be the best solution. Some people will use WD-40, in which, yeah, but it stinks to high hell. I also suggest investing in good cotton swabs like these, or wood stick ones. Wood stick ones cost a lot more, but these will work just fine. Alcohol is very good because it's not water, which water will rust and stay in place. Alcohol will eventually evap. And then you can use the dry side to clean up the alcohol. Would you look at that? That's already worlds better. I'm going to let that evaporate. And then I'm going to use just a small pinch of gun oil to help it move a lot easier. A lot of people disagree on using alcohol on wood. If it's really muddy and disgusting with stains like the stock is, I'm probably just going to take a small patch with a little bit of alcohol and wipe it back and forth. Wipe it clean, and put a little linseed oil on it and wipe it down. Buff off the rest of it, and it's good. I don't do no like polishing or nothing because it don't really need it. You know what I mean? So with this, since I got all the gunky crap out, I'm going to clean the piss out of it by using good old one-step Pro Shot. It's what I like to use. It's what I've usually been using. I used to like rim oil, but man, that shit is just way too just puddly is the best way that I put it. Pro Shot, it's nice and thin. But the thing with Pro Shot though is you have to clean every so often, but you get such thin and smooth guns out of it though. That's my opinion, however. Everyone's got their own opinion on their own type of applicator, what's best for cleaning it. I have mine. I'm going to use a copper brush because no one's going to care about the inside. The inside is where the wear is going to be at. Don't use it right here. This is your finish. You don't start going like this with it. Go inside and just start brushing. Brush anywhere and everywhere you can see. Put more applicator. Wipe it down. More applicator till it stops turning gray or black. Or very little gray and black. And I'll be right back after I clean all the parts. And if there's anything else I'll show you on it as well. I'm back. I got done cleaning the housing. Now, with this, all you gotta do is tighten this nut right here. You take 2 points and you go like this with it. But I'm going to untighten it because I want to clean the wood real good on it. Make it all look nice and pretty. So, I'm just going to unscrew it. And it is already loose. I shouldn't have been able to do this with just my hand. You want it not like retard tight, but you want it like put a wrench here and you just want to take it with your hands and go That's it. You want nothing more because these are thyme threads on a thin tube, on a thin nut. If you strip it, your ass is grass. You'll have to get a whole new assembly. And I've worked on shotguns like that before. And I've refused to work on them because they were that fucked. And I don't want to be like the one, man, This goes fun. But yeah, so put that out of the way. See, look at them threads. Look how ew they are. Then again, brass brush, or if you're careful enough, wire wheel and Dremel. If the balloon's already gone and you don't give a shit about wire wheel and Dremel with plenty of lubricant. I know a bunch of purists out there just cringed and probably died in their seat after I told them to use a wire wheel and Dremel. But if it's a wear part, no one's going to see it. Wire wheel and Dremel. Easier, cheaper way. You also probably don't want to do it in your house because wires will get all on the floor. But I'm going to take the time on this and actually, lubricate it properly, take it down. So yeah. Now, before we start touching wood, you can see the grease on my hands and the gunk and oil. Just take a rag or some toilet paper. Now, you can go the whole length and wash your hands, but make sure you get all the oil off as best as possible, especially the gunk. I suggest you go wash your hands, but there's some stuff going on in our bathroom right now, and I really can't do that. Instead, I'm just going to wipe it down real good. Well, might as well just take that out so it don't fall out. Now with stocks, I leave it up to most people's discretion. I usually take a small amount of steel wool and wipe it down good. Then I take a small applicator, like a very small, like a boar cloth, and wipe it down with linseed. Sit for a second, and then take some paper and just wipe it back off. It'll pretty much freshen up any stock you have, especially if the stock's got dry spots in it like this one. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna tell you right now, linseed oil goes a long way. Now I still have to buff this just a little bit, but see them scratches at the end of the butt, like beforehand? They're mostly all gone now. All you do is you just keep buffing it, and it will leave a nice smell. It will leave a smell. I love the smell of boiled linseed oil. It smells quite nice. It smells like a good herbal tea. But you want to try to buff it out as much as possible. Linseed oil, we've been using it for thousands of years. Helps buff out the marks and stuff from the original finish. It doesn't touch the finish. It just seeps back into the wood. It goes underneath it. I'm pretty sure it just goes underneath it. I could be totally wrong though. I usually just take a microfiber towel like this, buff it out, some toilet paper, buff it again, till there's nothing left on the surface. Now this one had just a nice matte wood feel. It's not a shiny wood feel, it's just a nice matte feel. So I'm just going to buff it out till I get back to that matte feel, and then it'll be done. And I'll do the same thing like I did with the forest stock. Alright. Now, before we put the forest stock assembly back together, keep in mind that this top calcinut and these threads shouldn't have oil on them. Now, it's alright if there's a small amount left on the threads, it's fine, but you want to get a nice little cleaning patch like, these, or paper towel, or toilet paper, whatever device you have that can absorb oils and materials. You wipe it down quite good, both in the calcinut and on the threads, because you want it to work off friction, and if there's something in the way between it, friction doesn't work, it can eventually back out, meaning you have to fix that every once in a while. Another thing with forest stocks, look at it. It widens here and it gets thinner up here. Look on the other side and you can see how it works on the checkering. When you wrap your hand around it, the thinner side should go that way with the thicker side this way. Another thing is how you orient this. Now usually with cutouts you can usually just shove it in place. I'm still going to teach you, with the majority of pump action shotguns, your action bar should be on top of the tube the collar that goes over the tube. So when you put it together, it should be like so. Now your action bars are going to have a little wiggle to them. They just are. That's how they're meant to be. They're meant to pump the action back and forth with whatever tolerance it has. So a little wiggle to them, like so, is totally normal. It's totally fine. Take your calcinut and you start it off with your hand at first. Don't try to overstrip them. There you go. See, look, mostly your first time for that one. Oh, there we go. There we go. It took that time. No, it did not. This wood is really close together at this end. I think we're going now. Yep, we are. Alright. Just screw down. Look how much easier that's going down when it was coming back up. And look, I can just... You can hear it scraping together, which means it's friction. If you heard nothing, that means you had too much oil on it, and you need to take it off and clean it. Look at there. It's starting to seep to the wood now. What I do here, take something like a chainsaw wrench and just kind of just push the collar to place. Oh wait, I do have a shotgun wrench. I just remembered. But alas, it is stuck to my car keys, so we'll just use it. There's a wide side and a thin side. And the wide side you can just use to make much. Look at that. Nothing. Except for the action bars. Perfect. And it can still be taken off because it's hand tight. Just like so. That together, with your trigger group, you don't take nothing apart. I would suggest you never take a trigger group apart. You just spray it down as good as possible because it's mostly plastic on the interior. Don't ever try to take your trigger group apart. Your bolt, however, if you're really wanting to, you can take it fully apart, but all I do is I just clean the piss out of it really well. And I'll do all that, and I'll come back to you. Alright, it's been a couple of minutes. You can see right here, you can see this rust right here. Use your cleaner with some steel wool or a brass brush. Brass or a bronze brush. Now, when you clean this off, it will become bare metal. Not like, the blued steel is coming off. It's the rust that's coming off. But the rust has already replaced the blued steel, so it will go to chrome. Just give it a good little bit. Just rub it in good. See none up here, so oh yes I do. Ooh, look at that. Just rub it in good. It'll clean that blued steel right up on anything. If there's surface rust, you want to stop the rust immediately, unless it's like a browning rust, then you leave that alone. Especially on really old guns, just like at or before the turn of the century. Really old guns with bronze color barrels and actions, you leave that shit alone. You don't touch it. You run some CLP over it, and you're done. Because the bluing process has naturally brown rusted itself over time. You know? Don't touch that. You leave that alone, alright? Look at that. That is so much nicer now. I still got to clean that little bit up right there, but look at the rest of this. Look at that. That's really nice now. Alright, let's get to reassembling this shotgun. Now, most of the steps are going to be in reverse, and I will say I will likely have a hell of a time getting this back together. But I'm going to do it with how best I know it. And we're going to apply oil all along the way. Now, I've already done the courtesy of putting the buttstock back together. Now, back here, how to put the buttstock back together is you take your screwdriver, your hex or whatever, and stick it through the butt, screw it on, and then if there's enough space, screw the receiver to the screw, like you're screwing the receiver itself till it seats, push it down, and then on like a floor surface, just screw your screwdriver into it until it falls in line perfectly. Oh, excuse me. Now this, we're just going to put a little bit of oil right here. Oops, right here. Work that back and forth. And yes, you'll see the oil's going everywhere. It's fine. It's all going over the receiver, which we'll clean in a second. We'll just wipe it down with a microfiber towel. You're done. Come in here underneath here. With parts that you're lubricating, you want to go to the front of it at its furthest action, and to the back of it at its furthest action, touching the part with wherever it's sliding on. That way, wherever it's guiding itself to is where it puts its oil at. Now, this what I'm going to do is just clean the excess oil off, and that's done. Inside, don't worry about it. Now, the first part that goes back in is your elevator. What I do here is I apply a little bit of oil where your elevator moves at. The less amount of friction you have in your gun, the smoother the action will be. Try not to get on these outside faces of the nub, because that's what's touching your facing out the receiver. Just try to get it around the rings. A very thin coating is all you need. And if you look for wear spots. If there's wear, that's, well, where oil's needed at. Only time I don't put oil on some is when it's being threaded into place. Go ahead and take this. Kind of just got itself back in there. Back, kind of like push it together, push it up in itself. You'll get it. It's finicky, to say the least. Luckily, it's very loose, is what you can do with it. There we go. Just like that, back in place. Now, I just now realized I forgot some. That would be my ejector. Your ejector, you want to put it back correctly. And luckily, if you can look right here, you can see where the ejector line used to be at. And you also think about when it's pumping out, your little dot right here, your shell, when it's coming out on the rim, it's going to hit here and fly this direction. So off that logic, you can just assume it foot right there. You just screw it back into place. 3/16 screwdriver is a little small for this, but I don't have a good mediator, do I? No. Next thing I have up is, well, maybe a 1/4 inch might actually work better. Last thing you want to do is strip out any of your screws. Hell yeah, 1/4 inch works a lot better. Alright, see, looky there. This is a good fitting screwdriver. It fits on both sides, it's not going over, and it fits perfectly into here, into the slot. Now, it's got a little wiggle to it, but that's fine. And you just screw it back into place. I'm going to try to line up as best as you can. You're not always going to be able to line it up perfectly. Make it up, try again. You want to make sure this screw is tight. Last thing you want to do is it coming out of your action. Hand tight, don't over tighten it. Make sure it's in the middle and just crank. That's good. It's in place. It's not moving around. That's perfect. There's no oil between the surfaces, so it's friction stuck. It's using friction to hold that piece in place. This piece does not move. So you want to make sure it doesn't move, and you put no oil on. A lot of people mess up on this, where they don't put no oil at all, or way too much damn oil on there. You got to know where to put it at perfectly. Now, if you put a little oil on there, whatever. I mean, well, there goes this lantern. Give me 1 second. Alright, got myself a different lantern this time. What was I saying? Oh yeah, make sure it's friction stuck. Now, just like in reverse, you're going to lift this lifter up so your bolt doesn't get in the way. Just take your bolt to the front, and you're good. Now, shiny side should be facing to the receiver. The darkened side should be, shiny side should be facing to the slot opening. Darkened side, where it's not polished, should be facing towards the inside. Just like that. Pop this daggum thing up so it's not in the way. Yeah, it's going to take a second. Alright, you want to line it up about right there. Take your bolt. You can kind of see where it's supposed to slot itself out at. You want your head facing towards the top so we can move the bolt lock in and out of battery. There we go. Just like that. It also fits in these slots right here. This big old giant slot in the inside. Up, out. Okay, that's
That's not very cash money. Alright. Soft lock. What are you soft locking on me for? It's this thing, ain't it? It's the elevator. That's the one thing about Mossberg actions, is that they are just a little finicky. May have potentially soft locked. Uh-oh. It's alright. Ain't that big of a deal. Give me a second. It was not in fact soft lock. It's just because of the lack of oil in here. Let me go ahead and fix that issue real quick, especially on the elevator. Now it's all the way at the top. Press down on it. All the way to the back. There we go. It's just the severe lack of oil. Is the friction is what's getting it. And your bolt, you want to put a healthy amount on there. There we go. Perfecto. Alright, next up, gonna want to attach force stock in place. Before we do that, gotta put our tube back in place. Before we do that, we gotta get the spring and plug back in place. So let's go do that real quick. Your tube, not your tube, your plug should be able to just sit on the receiver before you do anything. Just like that. Should just be able to drop it right in place. Shouldn't move. Unlike like a spring-filled Model 67, those will move. I don't know why they do. Threads are clean now. They shouldn't move anymore. Just screw her on down. Make it good hand tight. It doesn't need nothing more. It's just a very thin wall metal tube. Just like that. No wiggle to it now. No reason why it should move. Alright. I was actually wrong too. Your bolt catch goes in last. Your bolt itself goes in last. Bolt slide. There's so many names for guns, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Over the collar. Becomes an important part. Make sure you orient it properly. Force stock should be facing just like this. You might be like, wow, it's not going to go in position. Yes, it does. Lift your action bars up. Push it back. Push them back till they're in the slot spots. With the slot spots open, you should be able to just drop this into place. Push your bolt back if needed. Here comes the fun part of lining everything up. Most time you just kind of half guess it, and it'll kind of just go into its place. Okay, that lines up these now. Oh, come on. There's a soft lock there. It rid itself to the far back. Rubber hammer, white taps. There we go. It's free. There we go. Ta-da! Just like so. Now, for reference, I want your bolt just slightly behind the head of the bolt, and it lines up with both action bars. And I slid them out. Of course I did. Where are you stuck on? There we go. Back her out a little. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright. I try to lock it all the way forward as best I can. Now with this, here comes one of the harder parts, is getting your parts back in place. Facing like this, the left one goes into the left-hand side. Found the hole, you lock her in place. Perfect. Right one goes to the right-hand side. It's a press fit. I'm not gonna lie, I hate press fits. Because they never ever work. With them in place, they should be completely flush. Neither one should be sticking out except for this one in the back. It should have a small lump to it. Looking up here, it should have the claw just touching the plug. If there was a rim there, this one shouldn't move at all. Alright. Comes the fun part, is locking the trigger group back into place. Trigger group fixed like so. See, it's got the cutout for the slot there. Rock her into place. Boom. Just like that. Put your pin in. Quick function test. Your bolt should be able to move freely because there's nothing for it to just latch into place. There's no bolt face. Just like that. Ah, I forgot. I didn't clean the barrel. Guess what we get to do now? With the barrel, there's a choke right here. How you clean your choke is you gotta take it out first. What I do with how I use my clean-ons is you get a thick rod. I got a solid stainless one just for shotguns. I run 12 gauge. Some people like use bore snakes. I like to just run rods. I run a 12 gauge cleaning brush and then a 12 gauge swab. I'm not going to show you the process, but go from the front of the barrel backwards. That's how I've always run them. Sometimes I put one through the front of it, but not really. Not usually, at least. Go backwards with it. Then you run, and once you see there's little to no crud left, then you would run your cleaning swab. Where are my cleaning swabs at? Right here. It's always going to be the biggest. That's 20, 12. Run one of these through it. They're going, once you use them, they'll get gray and dirty. You only throw them out if they turn into other colors, or they get so black you can't see any white in it whatsoever. I usually just put a nice amount of cleaning oil. I don't put normal oil in this, just cleaning oil to lubricate the inside so it doesn't rust on the inside. But yeah, I'm going to do that real quick. It's also got some rust spots on it. I'm going to do the steel and COP applicator trick. Another thing with these is if it's just got a, if the slot isn't exposed and it's just got a hole, it's got a whole slot over the top rather than, you know, being open like this, then you would put some oil there. But since it doesn't, I don't worry about it because we already put some on the bolt. Now, I'm very big against putting oil on any threads of any sort, but one condition I don't apply that to is chokes. Now with chokes, when you screw them down, they're just kind of like bolts and nuts. They pull themselves into the threads. So, over time, especially if you go duck hunting, they'll rust really badly. That's what happened in my first 12 gauge I ever got. Had a one that set into the tube. I like mine that stick outside because I can just they'll have checkering on that side and I can just unscrew with my hand rather than having to use a choke wrench for them. I would clean the absolute piss out of these threads. It's another time, the only time I accept that you put any type of, take a Dremel to. It's the inside of a shotgun barrel. It's a shotgun barrel. Shit's gonna come out of it. It's not meant to be pretty. It's meant to be usable. Now, unfortunately, I can't fit my Dremel on this, but I can do to this choke is clean it well and plenty, put a good amount of oil on there, a good amount. It doesn't matter how much oil you put in here. I'm not saying dump a whole fucking thing of this in here. Put a good film in there so the barrel doesn't rust, on the inside at least. You would screw your choke in, make sure you screw it in good, because if you don't screw it all the way in, it could fly off, strip the threads, or even blow up the tip of the barrel off. I've seen it too. Not in live, but I've seen it online. So, put a good amount of oil in there, screw it in place. So, if you ever want to take the choke off, or put a new one on, it's easy to get on and off. But I digress. Put a little oil on this, and we're done. Alright, we're almost done. The video right now says I got 46 minutes of content, so yippee for me having to edit all that out. Edit everything unnecessary. This just if you don't know how to already do this, might not be no real hope for it. But I'm just push it back in place in full. There we go. Yet again, just be finicky with it. Now with that set to place, you put your cap on. Crank it down. Crank it down as best as possible. Yeah, you box up in place. Barrel doesn't move. Oh man. Safety on. Make sure she works good real quick. Perfect. Works A-okay, just like it's supposed to. Now what we do is we take a microfiber rag and just wipe her down. Wipe the prints and everything off. Wipe it down as best as you can. Wipe all the prints, all the gunk. Make sure you clean your hands too before you start doing this. Unlike me. Just want to wipe her down real good. Clean all of it off as much as possible. See, look. It's nowhere near as loose as was before. But yet again, that looseness comes from, well, the action bars moving. It's fine. Your hand's going to naturally move it anyways. Now, bad looseness, I'll show in my other shotgun that I own. That's awful. And that gun actually kind of sucks to take apart. Like this gun, you can just take everything apart on its own. It just needs something to drive this pin out. Unless you're like taking the forestock and everything off like I did. I like guns where you just need like maybe 3 tools to all together, excluding your hands, take the whole thing apart. Those are my favorite guns to work on. The guns I don't like working on is where you need a variety of tools like I do to take them apart. There you go. Look at that. It's good. Just like that. I should be able to just press the action button. And that's how you know your pump shotgun's good and clean. If you can just hold the action button down and just shake it down. The pump means it's nice, it's loose, but it's still good tight action. That's very nice. So, well clean, well functioning firearm. Now, here's to address something else. I know people are going to comment on this video, if it gets big enough for anyone to actually watch it, all 40 minutes of it, and actually bother with it. Some people are going to say that I'm stupid and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. They're going to ask what kind of operation I'm running. Right out of my bedroom, with all the tools I have. Everything right here is all that I work on guns with. Are you even allowed to do this? Yeah, I'm not taking money for it. I do this because, you know, someone ain't got the time to take care of these weapons, and the trade-off is I get to make YouTube videos with them. Any gun that I don't say shooting it's someone else's, and I've done work for it. Usually cleaning it or fixing some small damage or what have you. Usually cleaning. I do it completely for free because there's
There's no money in it. I don't really care about the money. I make enough as is. Any and all criticism is more than welcomed, especially in the comments section. Tell me why something like, I don't know, putting oil on choke threads is wrong. There's probably cons and pros to it. Do tell me why I'm wrong. But if you're going to sit there and be a fucking asshole about it, I ain't going to heed any advice you have, and I'm just going to ignore you. If you give me good criticism, I'll look at it, I'll research it, and come to my conclusion of whether you're right or you're wrong. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone. Including my own. I'm not afraid that something I did in this process is probably wrong, like taking the bolt and stuff out. Some people have a different process than that. That's totally fine, but at the same time, it worked, didn't it? Tell me why I'm wrong, but don't be an ass about it. Because if you do, I'm not going to heed any advice whatsoever. So leave a good, well-written comment on what I did was wrong, or if I did something good, let me know. Or something you never thought of that I did. Do let me know. But otherwise, this is how you clean a Mossberg style shotgun, or clean a gun in general. I will see you all later, and sorry for the very bad uploads as of recent. I've just been doing a lot on the weekends. See y'all later.